Hello my gorgeous friends on the internet, how you are doing? Okay, welcome to another amazing tutorial. Yeah, I promise you this one is gonna be the best. Yeah, it's gonna be the best. I miss you guys a lot. It's been a while. I've been occupied with some few things, but yeah, I promise. Actually coming back with amazing content this time around. Okay, so and this time around, whatever I'll be creating is gonna be on for iOS and for Android. Yeah, that means I'm fully prepared for every one of you. Okay, so today's application is gonna be a reading aloud app. It's more like an educational application. Yeah, you know. Education application these days is actually helping a lot of people to accomplish things. Yeah, so what it does is, let's just imagine you have a long day, okay, at work, or you went to school and everything, you're just tired, okay, so you have no strength to do anything when you return home. So, and then let's say you have this PDF file somewhere, or you have a large text that you need to go through and read. So, and you don't have any strength to actually go through that stuff and start reading. So, just imagine where you can actually have an application that will read that content out loud for you. So, if it's a PDF, you upload it to the app, it's going to read that content to you aloud. Okay, you're just going to hear the audio and everything. Yeah, so that's basically what we're going to be looking at today, how to get that done. All right, so for this video, what we're going to be using, we're just going to focus on three packages here to actually accomplish this stuff. So the first package we're going to be using is Flutter text to speech package. Yeah, so it's a package that helps us to actually convert text, like Flutter text in Flutter, to, okay, let me see if I can get that here. So it's a package that converts text to speech, okay, for us. So this is it, and this is what we are going to be using. So as you can see, it supports Android, it supports iOS, Mac, web, and Windows. Okay, but for this tutorial, we are only going to focus on Android and iOS. So you guys are going to see how it works. And also the next one we are going to be focusing on is going to be Flutter PDF. Yeah, PDF test. Yeah, Flutter. So this, what does this package do? It actually helps us to extract text from a PDF file, yeah, in form of string. So you're going to see how this works. And also the last one which we are going to depend on is going to be the file picker plugin for Flutter. Okay, so what does it do? It just helps us to pick document. So we'll be using it to pick the PDF file from our system, okay, from our phone. Okay, all right, so I don't want to bore you guys with much of this, but you can actually go through the dependencies to see how it works. All right, so quickly let's dive into our terminal, and I'm going to create a new project here. So I think I can just cd into my path. Okay, let me list this stuff. Okay, so in here I can actually create, okay, let me just make a directory, and I'll call this YouTube projects. Okay, like so, and I can cd into the directory. All right, so inside here, and I'm going to create the app, so we'll call it read aloud. Okay, so that is going to be the name of our application. All right, so just give this some few minutes for it to generate and create a project for us. Okay, now, so we are in. So what I need to do now is to just open up VSR to open it up. So I'll go to my document. So we have the YouTube project and we have the read aloud from here. All right, modify this bit of the code and then get our UI ready. Okay, so to get this bit up, I'm going to run this app first on iOS. Okay, let me just start my simulator here real quick. Okay, so I'm going to increase this screen a little bit. All right, like so. Move this one a little bit. Okay, so I hope everyone can see the screen right now. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to remove all these bits. So I want to just create everything from scratch because that's what I normally do. So I think this part is not really new to any of us. So we already know how to create our app like so. And I can call this a run app. So it's going to be app. Okay, so, and I can have a stateless widget that actually returns a material app. Okay, so it's going to be a stateless widget app. and here we can quickly return our material app. Okay, from here we can actually have our home, so I'll just call this home page. So I'm just trying to make everything simple, and so it's going to be one page. We are not actually going to manage any state here in this application, so it's just going to be a simple states application. So we're going to have home page. All right, so this is going to be the home page of our application. All right, so let me just use the constant keyword there. All right, so real quick, I'm going to add a scaffold. So it's going to give us access to app bar. Okay, so yeah, we have our app bar, and I'm going to close this up, save it up, and now I'm going to run this app on the simulator. So let's just give it some few minutes to run. And once it runs, while it's running, I also need to bring up my emulator as well. So I'll be using code boot here. Yeah, so this is my emulator. I'm going to move it by the side first. For once we see the iOS bit, then we can actually run it for Android as well. So let's just give it some few seconds. Up and running right now. So I'll also do the same for the Android emulator. So I'll just change this, okay, and then run it for the Android. But I don't think it's really necessary to run it for Android. Let's just build everything out first for iOS, and then we can actually build it for Android, okay, in order not to waste our time. So I'm going to have, okay, a test widget, and it's going to be read aloud. So that's the name of the app. So once we have that bit, and we also going to have two buttons here. So one button is going to be to play the video, the test, like to play the audio to read the test, and another button is to stop the test, okay, while it's playing. So I'm just going to quickly add an action button here. So it's going to be an icon button. So this is just going to have an on tap property. So this one, basically what we are doing here is just to stop the audio, okay, while it's playing. Then this is just going to have, let me just say constant, okay, icon does stop. Okay, so I don't know what I'm doing. So okay, so I'm going to close this like so, save it up, and you're going to see the button stop. All right, so we are also going to have another button. So remember I said I'm going to add two buttons, okay. So right here, I'm going to move this bit down below here. And so we have two buttons, but I'm going to change this stuff now to mic. So this is going to just start the audio, okay, and read the stuff out. All right, so we have the two icons right there. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do now is to have a button, like a body widget. So basically what is body widget is going to be the place where we're going to add the test area, like the test. If the user wants to type the test manually, like copy and paste, yeah, no problem, or you're uploading from the PDF, you're going to see all those bits later on. But for now, let's work with the test. So I'm going to have a container first. Okay, so I can actually give it some padding because I want some padding to be around the edges. Okay, so let me just add some padding. So this is going to be 20, and we can have a child property, which is just going to be the test form feed, as I said. Okay, and the test form feed is going to have a controller. Yeah, it's going to have a controller, so we are going to get put that controller later on. But for now, okay, let me just quickly add the controller, or let me just comment it for now, okay, and just build out the stuff. So you can see the test controller, but I want it to fill this whole page, okay. The keyboard is not showing because it is iOS, because if it's Android, it's going to show. So it's not really a bug, yeah. So I'm going to give it a decoration, and that decoration, the purpose of it is just to remove the underline inside here. So I'm going to have an input decoration, and then the border, I'm just going to say input border.none, okay. And also I'll have a label. Does it need a label? Yeah, I think we need a label that will just say, okay, enter test, or test to speed. Oh, let's just say enter test, yeah, just like that. And yep, so you can see the icon is gone. But right now you can see this thing is not multi-line, in the sense that we cannot use enter, so we need to make it multi-line, so it's going to fill this page. So to actually accomplish that, what I'm going to do is to set a max line. So I'm saying a maximum line. So I think I'm just going to use the full height of the widgets, yeah. So I'll be using media query of context for that. Dot size dot height. Remember the height is in double. Okay, so I'm going to convert it to an integer. All right, so it's going to fill the whole page, and now I can type and use enter to actually separate it. Okay, I think enter doesn't work, but it's actually going to be going down. Okay, so I think this is cool. You can see enter is actually separating it. Cool. All right, so this is it. We can clear everything. All right, so that is it, and the next thing I'm going to do is just to quickly create a controller that will help us to retrieve the text from the test form feed. So I'm just going to have a test on editing controller here. Okay, don't worry, all these codes are going to be on GitHub for you to actually use. All right, so that's it, and right now we're going to see how to actually transcribe a text that is being written inside here. All right, so let's quickly install our text-to-speech plugin, okay, which is this one. So we are going to quickly add it into our prospect.yml file. So I'll just copy that. Okay, go to my VS Code and open up the terminal. So just add it, Flutter pub, add this. Okay, so just give it some few seconds to run, and once it's okay, and you can actually go, though I've already gone through this dependency, so I know how to use it, but in your own case you can actually go through it. And if you notice, for Android we need to increase the minimum SDK to 21, but for iOS I don't think you need to do anything. Yeah, so there's no changes you need to do for iOS. That's just it. Then you come here and initialize the Flutter plugin. Once you initialize it, you can actually play, like start, speak, pass the string. You can actually have so many things you can actually customize, so you can go through them in your free time to learn more about the package. But for now, let's go over to our Android bit and increase the SDK to 21. Okay, so I'm going to go to minimum SDK here and change this stuff to 21. All right, so we can close that bit, save it. Okay, and so feel free to kill the app because you just added a new dependency here. So you can start it up again. All right, so we added a new plugin, so it's actually advised you close it and open it again. So I don't know, it's currently running on Android. Okay, so let's just leave that bit. Okay, but while it's running, let's quickly create a function that we're actually going to speak. Okay, play the speech for us. Okay, and after that we also need to actually create the instantiate the Flutter TTS. So we'll call this one TTS. Okay, and then I will say Flutter TTS like so. So inside this speech, I need to actually create a constructor that will take the text, which is the stuff we want to speak. Okay, then it needs to be an async function. Okay, from there we can actually await this, and I can say await tts.speak, then I'll pass in the text. Okay, like so. All right, so that's just it you need for that. And also remember, we also need to stop the test as well. So I'll have something like this, a function to stop. Then we'll have a tts dot stop, like so. Yeah, that's already pretty much it, and there's nothing much to do there anymore. So we go down now to this start button, and this stop basically just to call the stop to stop the audio if it's playing. And then for the start, we need to check if the controller.test is empty, because it's not nice to pass an empty string. So if it's not empty, then we can actually speak. Okay, so by speaking, we are actually passing the controller.test, so we can trim it to remove any white space before and after it, okay, to avoid errors. All right, so currently there is nothing, so if we click on it, it's not running because we are handling this stuff. So I will quickly grab a test outside here. So let me go to my browser and just let me see if I can grab this test. Okay, let me see if I can grab a better test like PDF test. Okay, let me see if I can grab this. Okay, quickly, and I'll go to my code. Think for, is it Android or iOS? Okay, Android is currently running and iOS is also running. So for now, let's test with the iOS bit first. So I think it's not running on iOS because let me see. Yeah, okay, I think I've not built it for iOS. So let me just quickly build it for iOS. But why is building for iOS? Let's test for Android. Okay, so I'm going to paste the string here. All right, so let me play it to see what happens.
This plugin for Flutter allows you to read the text content of PDF documents and convert it into strings. It works on iOS and Android. On iOS, it uses Apple's PDF Kit. On Android, it uses Apache's PDF Box Android porting.
Awesome. So you guys heard that. So if I play it now again,
this plugin for Flutter allows you to read the text content.
And you can see I just stopped it. We can play.
This plugin for Flutter allows
and stop it. Right, so you can see now we actually have an opportunity to upload the text, to add the text directly, and you can see it playing. So okay, aside that, let's test it for iOS to see what happens. So I believe it has run already. Yep, I believe so. Let's paste this stuff here, and then I'm going to play it now.
This plugin for Flutter allows you to read the text content of PDF documents and convert it into strings. It works on iOS and Android. On iOS, it uses Apple's PDF Kit. On Android, it uses Apache's PDF Box Android porting.
Awesome. So we can play it
for Flutter
and also stop.
This plugin for
awesome. So you can see it works for iOS and Android. So the next thing that we want to do is to actually decode, like upload PDF file and let it read it out loud for us. Okay, so I already downloaded PDF for these two devices, which is my simulator, so you might want to do that as well. Or if you're using a physical device, then no problem, you're good to go. Okay, but aside that, let's quickly we're going to add two plugins right now. So the first one is going to be this PDF test to actually decode the test for us. Okay, so I'm going to open up my terminal here. Okay, and I'm going to add it in. Okay, while that is adding, I will go back to my browser and then add the file pickup dependency that will enable us to pick file from our gallery. Okay, so I'll add that as well. All right, so we're going to give it some few seconds. Once it's running, it's better you actually close your, just rebuild them again. Okay, so if you go to our prospect.yml file now, you will notice that we have the file picker, we have the PDF test, we also have the Flutter text to speech. Okay, so I'll quickly create a function that will actually help us to get data from the user's device. So I'll just call this one a util. I'll create a directory util and I'll call this pick document. Okay, remember we have already added the file picker dependency. Okay, so it will help us to actually pick document from the user's device. So this is going to return a string. That is the file part of what we are picking. So I'll just call it pick document like so. And it's going to be an asynchronous call because we have a future there already. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just to call file picker. I'm going to call file picker results. I believe file picker results. Hope I'm correct. Yeah, I'm right. And we're going to call this a result. Okay, then I can await this call to then call file picker. Okay, dot platform dot pick files. Awesome, we can actually pick the file, so we can specify the type. So in this case, the type is just going to be, since we want to add the type to be only PDF, so I'm just going to add the file type to custom so that it will allow us to add other stuff. So I will allow extension. So this extension is a list, so we can actually add the extension. You can add JPEG if you want to pick JPEG, if you can add PNG, but in this case we only want to add PDF. Okay, then once you do that, we can just say allow a compression. Okay, just to avoid large file sizes and all those stuff. Okay, so once you do that, I'll go ahead and terminate this. So in our case now, we have to check if the result that what the user picked, if is actually null. So if it's not null, so we just have to pick the main device. But if it's null, so what we just need to do is to return an empty string to the user. Just like that. Okay, so we're going to handle that empty string stuff later on. So for now, what we just need to do is to get the file part from the response. So I can say files are equal to results okay, dot, oops, okay, result, which is this variable that we was created here. So we can say result dot files, okay, dot single dot part. Okay, so we actually creating the part, which is a string. All right, so once we get that part, we just should return it. Okay, that should be file, not files. Okay, we're just going to return it back to the user so that we can actually use it. So this is pretty much simple, and you can see straightforward as it is. Okay, so heading back to our main.dat, now I'm going to quickly create a button, like a floating action button. So what it does is just to like a floating action button here. So I think for this I'll just quickly run it on Android. Okay, what happened there? Okay, let me quickly run this stuff on Android. All right, so I'll bring up the Android bit, and yeah. So while it's running, I will quickly create a button, a floating action button here. So it's going to be I'll be using floating action button extended because I will need to add some text. So this bit is just going to help us to pick the, once you click on it, it's going to call the picker, the file picker, to actually pick the file from the user's device. So in here, what I'm just going to add is like pick free, let's say PDF file, like so. So you make sure you want to make it a constant. Okay, so save it up. We can see the button currently is not doing anything. So we actually need to pick this document now from sorry for that. So we have this file, which is pick document, and it's an async function which we need to await. Okay, so I'll just call pick document dot then. All right, so dot then means we're actually awaiting the result. Okay, so what we need to do now is to check. Remember, I actually return empty string if the user did not pick any file. Okay, so I'm going to check if the value, okay, if it's not equal to an empty string. Yeah, so if it's not equal to an empty string, then we need to do what we want to do. So in this case, what do we want to do is just to, we are going to get the file part. Okay, get the file part, and then decode it using the using the PDF package which we added, which is the pdf.test, which is this one. We're going to decode it to just extract the PDF in form of a string, right? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. But for this now, I just want to have, for the test, let's just assign the test, which is that is the part that the user selected. Let's just assign it to this test form feed. Okay, so save that bit up, and this is just for a test. I don't know why is this coloring list, why are we having that? Okay, so allow. So once you click on it, you automatically request for the permission. So you click on allow. It's going to open up your Explorer because we actually set the extension, the allowed extension to be PDF. So you can see the PDF that I already downloaded before. Okay, so we can actually click on one, and you can see the full part. It has been assigned to this controller, but this is not what we want. We want the PDF test to decode this and then assign it to the test. Then once we click on this button,
data user 0com.example.red underscore.
It's going to read that stuff out for us. Okay, so to do that quickly, see what we have to do now. I'm going to remove these bits. Okay, and don't worry, once I finish this, I'm going to test it out for Android, for iOS. Yeah, so let's just complete Android part first. So for this, I'll be using the PDF doc. Yeah, it's coming from the PDF test dependency. So I'll call this doc, and we need to await it. So for this awaiting, that means I need to use an async function here. Okay, await. So I'm calling PDF doc, okay, dot from part. So you can actually get from URL, from part, from file. I think there are actually so many methods you can actually work with. Okay, delete external file. So for this now we'll be using dot from part because we already have the part in form of a string, which is this. Okay, so I'll just have to pass the value in. Okay, that's it. And once you pass it, it's going to do its work. And we are waiting for it here, so we are going to quickly get the test. Okay, from it, still await doc dot. So you can actually get the info of the PDF. You can get the length. You can get the total pages. You can get the test. You can actually move to a page, delete a file, and you can see work with them. But what we need is just to get the test alone. Okay. And the reason why I use await is because this test is actually a future. If you hover now, you will see that it's a future. So I need to use await to wait for it and then get the string inside. So once we get the string, what we need to do is just to assign it to our controller.test, like so. So save it up. So I will quickly get it again. So I will click on it, and you can see automatically it has read the PDF and then assign it here. So let's select another one. You're going to see that it's just taking it. So once any PDF you just upload is going to decode it and then return it in form of a string. Yeah. So if we click on it
Welcome
now,
to small PDF. Digital document.
you can see it's actually reading everything inside
Welcome
of
to
it.
small PDF. Digital documents all in one place. Access files anytime, anywhere. Enhance documents in one click. Collaborate with others. With the new small.
Yeah, you can see how it works. So we can't really wait for it to read everything, but it works very perfect. Yeah, from what I've experienced so far.
A simple PDF file. This is a small demonstration.pdf file, just for use in the virtual mechanics tutorials.
And for every comma, it actually handles the pauses. Yeah, that's 1 second, 2 second pauses, which is actually cool. Yeah, for a package like this. All right, so that was for the Android. You can see it works perfectly for Android. There was no glitch. Yeah, everything works. You can actually pick and the code. Yeah,
A simple PDF file.
one thing I need to do is to add a button here to just clear the test. Okay, let's quickly do that to clear the test. Okay, so I'll just add a button here. So we'll call this delete. Okay, so what it does is just to call controller.clear. Yeah, awesome. So click it, it's just going to clear the controller for us, so we can actually pick another one. Yep, like so.
A simple PDF file.
Pause it, delete it. Okay, so that's that bit for Android. Let's see iOS in action right now. Okay, so I'm going to run this app quickly on iOS. I think we might actually, when I tried it the first time, I think we actually encountered some error, but let's see if this will give us that. Okay, I'm going to show you how to quickly solve it. So we can actually close the Android one from running. Okay, so let's debug it for Android, for iOS right now. So give it some few seconds to run. All right, so we got some errors, and this is like a port file error. So it's coming from the PDF dependency. So if we scroll down, you see, wow. Okay, I think we are missing something. PDF test. Oops. So I just want to see the error to see what it is. So it says automatically assigning platform iOS with version 9.0 on target runner. Because no platform was specified, please specify a platform for this target in your port file. Okay, so we are going to go to our port file now quickly. And yeah, so port file, and this is 9.0. So you can see it's commented. So we need to actually define a global platform for our project. Okay, and this is actually useful in case you are deploying your app to App Store. So you need to actually comment it and specify a platform for it. Okay, so we're going to save this bit now, and yeah, I'm going to try running it again to see what happens. No, not in here. All right. Another error. So let's read the error message. CocoaPod could not find compatible version for pod PDF test. So I think the PDF test is actually using a higher dependency, like a pod file. So what we need to do in this case is just to, let's say I increase this now to 13. Yep, let's use iOS version of 13. So save it up, and we'll go over to our terminal. So maybe I can just cd into iOS, and then I can call pod install to install the changes. And yes, once everything is cool, I can return back, and then we run this stuff again. Okay, so I just hope there's no error, because this was how I fixed it at the initial time. But yeah, everything will work pretty much fine, I believe. Yeah, so it's currently building Xcode. Yeah, so we're going to see this bit up. We're going to see our app later now on this emulator. All right, great. Our app is up and running. You can see the delete button, you can see the play button, you can see the pause button. Everything is being aligned, and you can see the PDF test. Okay, so now we're going to pick. Remember, we already tested the normal test whereby we just write, let's say I write hello world. Okay, and it's going to read it out for us.
Hello world.
Yeah, awesome. So we can delete it, and now let's pick from the file. I think I already have a PDF document here already. So this is not working, so I will go through browse, and let's go back, and I'll go to on my iPhone. So I'm going to pick one file here. So let's pick this one. Yeah, awesome. So let's play it now. Okay, go back, sorry. What did I do? Okay, so let's play it now to see this in action.
Adobe Acrobat PDF files Adobe registered sign. Portable document format PDF is a universal file format that preserves all of the fonts, formatting, colors, and graphics of any sort. Adobe Acrobat.
So that was it, guys. I don't really need to spend more time on this. You guys have already seen how it works, and you can see how easy it is to write a simple application that converts text to speech. So far I've been able to teach you guys how to use Flutter text to speech to actually read text in, like, yeah, to read text, okay, out loud to a user. And I also showed you how to use the file picker plugin to pick documents file, yeah, from the user's device. And also I showed you how to use the PDF test to actually extract the content of a PDF, convert it to a string, and then display it on the UI of the user. Okay, so far that was what we covered, and which actually fixed a little error, which was platform, yeah, conflict, yeah, the platform version. Yeah, I'm just starting out with iOS, so but let me just use that word. Yeah, the port 5, we actually fixed some few things there. So that was it, guys. And you can see the only thing we did for Android was just to increase the minimum SDK. Yeah, and nothing much. So this is pretty much what I want you guys to see. Please do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to like this video and share to your friends. I will see you all in the next video, and yeah, we are out. Do not forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah,